Today I want you people to think about something and a leader. This is more about leadership than anything else. One thing that I've learned about a leader is when you go into a position of leadership, you accept the responsibility. You are responsible for that position. You are responsible for the job that it covers. You are responsible. Nobody else. You are. The reason I'm doing this video is I want you to think about something. If you remember Obama and everybody saying what he said about this terrorism and stuff, how it was not a war on terrorism, how it was this, it was that, and his ideals. Well, he has a problem now. Because of what happened Christmas Day, he has a big problem. If you listen to his comments, he constantly said war on terrorism. Yet he says it's not a war on terrorism. Yet defending his failure, he said war on terrorism. Constantly. But yet it's not a war on terrorism. Think about this. Now, did he accept the responsibility that his ideas are not working? No. He's blaming other people. He can't accept that he is responsible. He is the one that needs to answer. He is where it stops. No, it's going to be somebody else. Somebody else failed. Somebody in their position couldn't do their job. Well, who put them in that position? He did. So it's not the person that failed in their job, it's he. He failed by poorly selecting people. The buck stops here when you're president, and that's where it always stops. When you take on a position of responsibility, you are responsible. Nobody else. That is something that a president must understand. He doesn't. Do I? Oh, yes, do I. I have a bad habit of taking on in the military more responsibility than my rank. A lot more. And when things go wrong, it's my fault, not the people underneath me. I made a poor decision, or I did something poorly. Most of the time, I do something correct. And a poor decision, even as president, can be overlooked as long as you're doing a lot correctly. But he's not. He's not working on the job of president. He's working on trying to force down the people insurance regulation they don't want. We do, I believe, should have some form of medical for people, but not an insurance regulation. If the government did provide for people who didn't have insurance and stuff a medical, it would bring the price down of insurances, because now they got to compete with something that people can get for nothing. And the insurances would cover more because the free medical would cover so much. In other words, it would improve the insurance. But he can't do that. He's got to try to regulate something which our federal government has shouldn't be. Doesn't have the authority to. But they're going to pass a law that makes it so that nobody could not take it away. Well, believe me, they know as soon as they lose power, the federal government's going to try to take it away. That's why they're saying, well, we're going to make it so that they can't take it away later. Huh? Oh, no. We're going to need to really do something about that. But the truth of the matter is he accepting the job of president? Is he really a leader? I do have a video on leader and what their traits are. But the most important trait is to accept the responsibility of that position. Will I accept it? Believe me, when the day you elect me as president, from that day on, I don't care who did what in the past. It's my job to fix it. And that's it. I don't care if it was Jimmy Carter's policy, Bill Clinton's policy, George Bush's policy, or Obama's policy. Now it's my job. And nobody else's. And I'm not going to cry to you, oh, they did this or they did that. My answer is our policies allowed December 25th to happen. I am responsible for that because I set the policies. But it will be fixed. And I take full responsibility of the failure because I'm the one who makes the decisions. But he can't do that. He's going to say, oh, well, somebody's head's got to roll. This is a failure. This is no good. You guys are bad. No, his policies are bad. His selections were bad. What he did created the situation. And he cannot accept that. But I found with most liberals, they can't accept it. You could show them through history where these things fail, and they say, well, they didn't do it right, or it's not done right, or history didn't record it right. And they do not accept that they and their ideals failed. Believe me, if socialism would have succeeded any time in history, this country would have had it a long time ago. But every single time in history, socialism was the downfall of thriving democracy, a thriving republic. You look at everyone that failed, you see that socialism was the reason. People can't understand that. Over and over and over again. Socialism nearly destroyed this country. Yes, both Plymouth Rock and Jamestown tried the socialist idea. And it almost wiped out both colonies. History shows that. Then they went back to the regular democracy that they set up before they tried the socialism. So, bottom line is, what I'm trying to say is, as a leader, when you elect me as president, don't expect me to use somebody as a scapegoat. No. I will be the president. I will accept the responsibility. And I will have the leadership. I've had 26 years training on what leaders are and what skills they need. I did not succeed in the United States Navy because I did not demonstrate the skills of a leader. Why was I going to meetings where I was the only enlisted and the next junior rank to me was a commander? And the admiral in charge of that meeting told my commander she made an outstanding choice sending me there because I accepted the responsibility and the authority and answered for that through me. So when you guys elect me as president, understand, you're going to elect someone who knows what leadership is, knows what the authority is, knows what the president's job is, and accepts it fully, and will be responsible to you, the people, for everything that happens. For I, as your president, will be responsible, because decisions I make, I am responsible for, not for somebody else. So I want to thank you, and think about this. Go back and check out my video on the traits of a leader. See what I am saying, and understand, you will have a focal point to say if something goes wrong. And it'll be JD. It won't be, well, somebody else, and things like that. And you just understand. How many times has Obama in the last week said the word failure, but not his? And how many times has he said war on terrorism? Yet, it is not a war, according to him. Yet, if I would have been there, I would have told you, I failed you, but I will correct it. And that would be my words. Thank you. This is JD.